Thank you for tuning in to today's 10 Minutes with Tony Scott. Today's show is brought to you by the Lumberyard in Stillwater. The Lumberyard is a 3-on-3 rink and training facility just a stone's throw away from the Stillwater Arena and is adjacent to Dave's Sports Shop on Washington Avenue. I have a few tournament openings I'd like to discuss. First, we have one opening at the Squirt C level for the YHH Squirtacular presented by Gentry Academy. This spot came available last week. We also have an opening for our Pee Wee AA Founders Cup held in Hibbing. The event is January 2nd through the 4th. We currently have 23 teams for this tournament that will have a great format for teams to get games with a huge variety. We have several great teams like Warroad, Pine City, North Branch, Park Cottage Grove, Greenway of Coleraine, and Eveleth Gilbert. We can't wait to see so many teams from all over Minnesota in one really cool tournament. If you're interested in either of these tournaments, send us an email at youthhockeyhub@gmail.com. Finally, there are still a few spots available left in the Lumberyard's second annual Christmas Rudolph Mite 3-on-3 tournament. The tournament will take place December 26th through the 28th with a 4-game guarantee, free hot cocoa for the players all weekend, player t-shirts, and more. The tournament is an independent mite tournament put on by the Lumberyard and features 2 levels of mites. There's an advanced division for teams wishing to compete at the highest level and an open division for all the other teams. Most teams bring 7 to 12 players and a goalie, so grab some players and get in on the fun. Congratulations to all the tourney winners last weekend. We had a great wall of champions on our website, and I think we did a great job of covering as much as we could. At no time except during the state region tournament is there so much hockey to cover in Minnesota. Here are a few teams that jumped out at us. Orono Bantamay, they won the Hopkins tourney, are undefeated, and are #1 in the state, and they're hot as a pistol. Speaking of hot, Prior Lake Bantam B is about as hot as you get. They score more than a basketball team on some nights. They're the clear #1 in Minnesota, and they spotted the Moorhead Spuds 4 goals on Sunday and came back and won. Congratulations to them. Prior Lake Bantam AA finished second in the Eden Prairie first test of the best. Jack Kenny and Cade Kujelski were definitely standouts, but another kid that stood out to me was a kid named Chris Olinger. Very solid defender, seems to really taken to what Coach Chad Peterson's game plan is every night for the Lakers. The NSP Revolution. They won the consolation of the Hopkins, but they played Lakeville really tough into overtime and beat Eden Prairie, and they're led by a kid named Leo Gruba. Watch out for the NSP Revolution this year. Speaking of Lakeville South, they won the Hopkins tourney. They beat Revolution, and they also beat District 8 foes Woodbury, who's highly rated, as well as Park Cottage Grove. Watch out for Austin Stone King. That's a kid that definitely is going to be hard to stop this year. Edina Single A Pee-wees, they won the Hopkins tournament with 4 great wins this past weekend. Lily DeLandis and Davy Peck are 2 kids that definitely stand out for the Hornets. Osseo Maple Grove Squirt A. They won every game they played last year, and they've done the same again this year. They won the Burnsville tournament in an exciting game over Matamidi. Tyler Fredericks and Landon Gunderson are definitely standouts for the Crimson. Fredericks scored 2 goals. 1 was disallowed, and on the same shift came back and scored. And Landon Gunderson is a kid that definitely keeps impressing us at YHH. Had a beautiful game-winning goal on a great head fake move that beat Bendardis for Matamidi late in the game. Congratulations to Osseo Maple Grove on a great win. And finally, Minnetonka 12A. Not so highly heralded, probably a 7 to 12 ranked team in the state heading into the Edina Cake Eater. They swept through the Cake Eater in convincing fashion. So congratulations to the Skippers. They're led by Maggie Nicholson, a girl we saw play last fall in the Pee Wee Challenge, definitely one of the top players you'll see in the state this year. Here's some more kids that caught our eye over the weekend. Jackson Blake from Eden Prairie, the son of former NHL star Jason Blake, might make a mockery of the Squirt A level this year. Super quick with great hands. Will Francis from Centennial's Bantam AA team. Here's a kid I've seen a few times already this season. Each time there's a part of his game that just keeps jumping out at me. He skates as well as Tyle Larson from Elk River, and that's saying something. And he controls the puck as well as any D-man I've seen. Not bad for a first-year Bantam. Finally, Ryan Melranen from Wayzata, a great puck puck handler who makes opponents miss. Had a great weekend for the Trojans, who are now in the top 10 in YHH staff rankings. Here are our Spirit of Duluth predictions. The Bantams. We look for Grand Rapids and Centennial to meet in the final with a slight edge to Grand Rapids. The best pool play games will be Rapids taking on Tonka on Saturday afternoon at Freiburger, and Edina takes on Cloquet on Friday morning. Those will be two great games. Here's some advice. If you're in the C Bantam pool at the Spirit of Duluth, they call it Thunder Bay for a reason. That team will bring the Thunder. Be careful of Thunder Bay this weekend in the Bantam division. Let's get to the Pee-wees. I see Edina getting back on track this weekend in Duluth and taking on Wayzata in a rematch of Sunday's third place game in Eden Prairie, a game that saw Wayzata win. We think the Hornets will take the Spirit of Duluth Pee-wee again this year. Best pool play games, Edina takes on now rankings #1 Cloquet on Friday afternoon. Coach Jamie Langenbrunner will face Edina legend Jeff Johnson. Oh, and by the way, two really good groups of skaters too. Should be a great game. Tonka takes on Wayzata in a battle for Lake Minnetonka in the Pee-wee division, this time near Lake Superior. That'll be another great game. Advice, if this is your first trip to Duluth, don't let the rink called Freiburger fool you. Its nickname is Friesburger for a reason. Bring an extra jacket. I have one thumbs down this week. It's the tournament organizers who stick top 10 teams in the same pool, or even worse, sticking teams from the same district in the same pool. Really? We just drove 3.5 hours to play the team from down the street? Hello? Hermantown is a suburb of Duluth, people, and OMG and Edina were #1 and #2 in the rankings in Pee-wee AA heading into the Eden Prairie tournament. There's this thing called the internet now. Take a pass through it prior to making your brackets. Thumbs down. Okay, the rant is over. Here are a few thumbs up. #1, all the people who enter scores onto our Now Rankings database. Thanks a lot. The data you submit is accurate and very timely. The rankings database is very successful because of our readers. Huge thumbs up to you. #2, to Matamidai's A-teams last weekend. They ran the table and got to the finals of Squirt A, got to the finals of Pee-wee A in Burnsville, and lost in the 3rd place in Bantams. Great weekend for the Zephyrs. Congratulations to them. Thumbs up to Matamidai. And finally, like I wrote last Thursday on Thanksgiving, we are very thankful for all the great people in Minnesota who make hockey such a great game. Parents, coaches, rink managers, outdoor rink guys, both at the public park or at the neighborhood pond, and most of all, the players. All of you that help make this such a great place to play a great game, a huge thumbs up to you. Hope to see you around the rink soon. Have a nice day.